All right, everyone. Welcome to our new class, handling listing objections like a top agent. So let's get started here. So every time that we host a class or do anything, we always want to start with an intention. This is something I learned from Leo Robles, who is, he's mine and Mari Lou's business partner, very intelligent gentleman. So this is something he actually taught me, is to make sure that was always the intention, right? So for this class, we want everyone to understand what objections are, how to mentally prep for them, and what's the formula for easing your client's mind, right? If you can determine what the formula is to solving the objection, you'll easily go past it. But the first thing is to understand what is the actual, objection that we're facing. So let's go. So mindset, right? I always like to start with mindset. This is big for me, right? I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, right? 10,000 different kicks, but the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times, because that person becomes the expert. That person knows what they're doing. That person knows, oh, commission. All right, this is where I need to go. Oh, they want to talk to another agent. This is where I need to go, right? They already know because they've already practiced it plenty of times. So that's why I put that there. So I want you guys to follow me on this journey. Let's pretend for a second that you're a doctor, right? As a doctor, if you can either unmute yourself or type it in the comments, what's your job as a doctor? What do you do to your patients? What are you supposed to be doing? So you can chat it over or text it. Let's see. That's great. I'm glad that we don't have any doctors here because we don't have any answers. So I guess I'll answer for you guys, right? Your job is to diagnose, right? You need to figure out why someone is sick and what's the cure to it, right? Same thing when we're handling objections. Why is someone giving me this objection and what's the cure, right? Let's figure out what is going on. Exactly. Solve sickness. Tell them what's wrong. Completely right. And what's the cure, right? However, if we don't become doctors mentally, how can we solve their cure for our patients, right? And what April just said, ask questions. When we ask questions, we're diagnosing, what illness is going on, right? Now, I'm not saying the sellers have illnesses. Some of them might have some mental illnesses. I'm not going to judge though. Yes, exactly. We need to ask questions. That's completely correct. Hold on one second. I need to do an Instagram break. And sorry, I'm working on my social media. I'm just going to take a quick boomerang. Oh, that's myself. That was scary. All right, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So I'm going to do that later. All right, so let's keep going. If you guys haven't shared this on Instagram, please do. Instagram, Facebook, we are looking to grow this community and we just want to help everyone possible. Obviously, this is always free, so feel free to. So if you were a doctor, what would your job be? We just talked about it, right? We have to diagnose, ask questions, figure out what the symptoms are so that we can, issue the correct treatment plan. So diagnose, we just talked about that. So let's go to school. This is where we're going. Follow me on the journey. We're going to go to school. So what's the difference between an objection and a condition, or a condition and objection? Can somebody text it over or say it in the chat, or say it, unmute yourself and share it?
Okay, I'll answer.
Oh, go for it, Mary.
A condition is something that there's nothing you could do. Like, for example, if they say, well, I have to wait till my kid graduates from high school and that's another year.
Yep.
Or I'm going to retire in 2 years, where an objection is, well, let me talk to my husband, my spouse. Well, I don't know about this. It's something that can be overcome with a little bit of time, something that, and if they give you an objection, it means they're still listening to you, because if they weren't listening to you anymore, they would just say, thank you so much, I've got to go, or something.
100%, Mary. Yeah, you're absolutely right. A condition is typically tied to a time frame, right? Like if your kid's a senior in high school, hey, I can't move to another state, they want to finish school here, or you maybe have a job offer, or there's some type of there's some type of time frame connected to it that we can't get around, or maybe they want to live in a particular neighborhood and there's just no inventory there, right? And we can't help you, right? Maybe there's limited inventory in a particular neighborhood, so it's really tough to relocate you into that neighborhood if there's no inventory. So yeah, there are going to be conditions. So as long as you understand, am I facing a condition or am I facing an objection? So let's keep moving. What are the most common conditions realtors face? So Mary, she already shared, she shared that, my kid needs to finish school. What other conditions are you guys facing right now? Let's look in the chat.
Careful.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. Let's see. All right, I guess nobody's facing conditions today. All right, I guess we need to start setting more listing appointments because I don't see any conditions in the chat. So here's a few. The market are high. So my kids are still in school. They're waiting. They're trying to get into a certain community. When they sell, they're waiting on a reload job, so they can't sell. Or maybe they're waiting. Their new build doesn't finish for another year, right? I know some people don't want to do lease backs, so that can be a condition as well. So here's some conditions that you might face. Rates are high, unstable job. Yeah, there you go. You guys have a bunch of conditions that you can come up with. Obviously, with rates, there's ways around it, right? I feel like if we set it up the right way, right? Maybe they do a 2-1 buy down, maybe they do a 3-2-1 buy down, maybe they do a permanent buy down, right? It just depends on how much the seller is willing to give as far as closing costs, right? So if they sell and they go buy, how much is that next seller willing to give? Because if you're in VA, you can already get into the 4% rates. Like I know as of today, you can, as long as you buy it down enough. And if you told me, hey, I'm going to get a permanent in the 4s rate, hey, maybe the rates are low enough for me to make me want to make a move. So yeah. That's why, just actually another thing to hit on that's why you need to know what's your maximum contribution that you can get per loan, right? So FHA, 6%, VA, 4%, conventional, 3%. If they're an investor, it's 2%. And then for conventional, it also scales up, which Bertha can tell you. With conventional. So yeah, those are the max contributions, which it's important to know that, right? Because then you can negotiate a little bit better. All right, so what are the most common objections realtors face when dealing with sellers?
Commission.
Commission is number one, right?
Yeah.
Like that leads everything. What else?
I have to think about it.
I have to think about it, right? And
So I have to-
typically
I have
that's
to
a
talk to my
confidence
spouse.
thing. What do
Yeah.
you do differently? Let's see, what else? What do you do differently? I have to think about it.
My friend or family member is a realtor.
My friend or family member is a realtor and I want to do them a favor instead of do business, right? That's what we see a lot. I'd rather do my friend a favor than sell my house. Let's see what else. I have to speak to my spouse, That sounds like you're speaking to a man, right? Usually when you speak to the woman, that's it. She says, yes, we're good to go. We already know. So make sure the wife is there. Let's see. All right, cool. So here's a few that we'll go through. So we have commission, multiple agents, sign, lockbox. Maybe your calling expires and you want to list with the same agent, right? We're going to sell it or we're just going to sell it ourselves. So these are a lot of different objections that you guys are going to face, which over time, we're going to definitely uncover and unpack every single motivation for all of these. I'm thinking that inside the group, maybe once per week, we'll go through one objection, because to go through all of them today we'd be here all day. But we'll definitely unpack the greatest one, which is commission. To me, that's the number one. I think that everybody gets hung up on the commission. So that's what we'll go through. So you ask, how do I get around these? Yeah.
Hey, Jess,
That's a
are you
great
there?
question. I'm here. I don't know who this is. Let's see. Let's mute Mary. Who is
Can
this?
you hear me?
Yeah, who is this? Are they speaking to me?
Eh,
Oh, here we go. All right, sorry, I muted them. Here we go. How do I get around this? First, we must understand why each of these is an objection so we can diagnose it, right? Remember, we're a doctor, right? We're a doctor. We need to diagnose the patient. We need to ask questions and uncover the motivation. That's why we go to school, to learn what the diagnosis is for each objection. So here's a few that we have. So commission. If the commission is the issue, usually they want to net the most amount of money, right? That's literally going to be the number one reason. Okay, so you don't want to pay 4%. What I'm hearing you say is you just want to net the most amount of money possible. Is that right? Or is saving 2% more important to you? What's more important, saving 2% or netting more money? And you're going to literally tie them down right there. I'm interviewing multiple agents. So when they interview multiple agents, they want to feel confident in whoever they choose. That's going to be the right agent for them. Hey, Mari Lou said that she can do this. Rich says he can do this. April said she can do this. Everybody's giving us different things. Whoever can give me the best value proposition and I can feel confident, that's what I want to go with. If they don't want to sign, which this is kind of this is the lower objection. It's privacy, right? Lockbox. If they don't want a lockbox and they only want to do showings like in person, then it's a safety issue. I'm going to list with the same agent. So the reason why we get this one is because they're comfortable with that agent. And they want to be comfortable with whoever they're listing with. They want to have the relationship with, right? That's what we have to look at. Do we have a solid enough relationship to make them feel comfortable? And we're going to sell it ourselves. So this is a FSBO objection. So they need to see value in a realtor. A lot of times FSBOs, they don't see value in realtors because realtors are the same as car salesmen, you know, they just call me all day long and talk crazy. Marilu, I want you to come in and interject about this. What do you think?
Yeah, and especially with the for sale by owners, number one, why they are selling themselves is because number one, they don't want to pay commission.
Mm-hmm.
And number two is because, you know, for sale by owners, they in their mind, they think, oh, I know everything and I'm going to get my property sold. That's why when I'm calling my expires, my cancellations, and my for sale by owners, I'm always give my value. I'm always trying to give more value because when we're making a phone call, either we have only 3 seconds to get in contact with this family member, right? We have 3 seconds either to click with the seller or to click the phone. We have only 3 seconds to get an opportunity to explain and ask more questions in order for us to keep with the conversations. That's why when you're calling a for sale by owner, we had to give value since the beginning in order for them to keep listening to us. Because if we are going to call a for sale by, hey, my name is Marilu with no energy. How you doing today? Click next. So that's why when you have the family member, the seller, the wife on the phone, that's the only 3 seconds that we have in order for us to get the connection and get the appointment right away. Hey, my name is Marilu. How you doing today? Trying to match the other side. And remember, when you have an energy, you are going to transfer the energy right away to the other side. When you have only 3 seconds to have a great connection and to get one yes. Remember, when we're making phone calls, we're looking for one yes. You know, I don't care when somebody say, oh, just hang up on me. It's okay. I'm just looking for one yes. Next. I don't know them. They don't know me. I'm just looking for one yes daily. That's why when we are making phone calls, we have a great opportunity to make at least $10,000 per day.
So you said that we can make $10,000 per day, right? Is that what I heard?
Yes. Well, especially at this moment, I see more value in everybody who's taking more classes. I know for sure if I'm going to make phone calls, maybe 3, 4, 5 hours, I'm looking for 2 yeses, which is 2 listing appointments per day.
2 listing appointments per day, at least 1 yes. So if I make $10,000 per day, that means I'm going to make $1 million plus per year, correct?
I don't see any problems right now. We have to have a great intensity. We have to have a great energy. And everybody, you know, especially for me, I have to be ready when I'm getting on the phone is because I feel good And I'm going to get making my phone calls, and I'm going to look for a seller who is going to invite me over today, not next week. We have to be a little bit more aggressive when we're making phone calls. We have to set up an appointment for today or tomorrow, no on the next week, because it's gonna be another agent who's going to be a little bit more aggressive, and they are going to set up an appointment. And we lose the opportunity to, we just prospect 6-7 hours on the phone.
Exactly. Those are all great points there, right? We want to be intentional. And if you're setting up a listing appointment every single day, I mean, what does your time become worth now? If you prospect 4 hours a day, and let's say you work 20 hours a week and you outsource everything else, your time becomes worth $2,500 an hour. I mean, who wouldn't want that? $2,500 an hour. That's how much your value is. But it's only going to be whatever you believe it's worth. If you don't believe your time is worth that, it's not going to be. So we have to be intentional with our time. So now that we know what our objections are, we can solve them, right? What we need to have now is a formula, right? What's going to be my formula to go through and solve it, right? Which April shared with us earlier. She talked about asking questions. We got to ask questions. So first step, is something I learned from Danny. Such an amazing thing. So learning the sales process. When I first learned this, it didn't click immediately, but once it did, I use this for everything. My wife hates it because she listened to me learn it. So she knows. She's like, why do you keep repeating back to me? Like, I hate when you did, like, she knows it already. But for people who don't know this, it sounds like we're having an amazing conversation. So this is the process of asking questions, right? If you get stuck somewhere, just remember, I need to ask a question. I need to listen for the answer, right? What are they saying? So we must be very good listeners, because if we can listen, then we can repeat what they just told us, right? Paraphrase back what they just said, approve it, and ask the next question. So we're going to dive deeper into this. I'll give you a second to write this down. This is called the sales process. The sales process, I promise, will change your life, change your business, and change everything for you. It's amazing. So let's see. I know a couple of you are writing still, so I'll give you a second. Let's see.
And Richard, I would love to
Go for it.
explain a little bit more about this info that we had to be a great listener daily when we are on the phone, especially if you're planning to stay on the phone maybe 2-3 hours. It's because you're looking for an appointment, you're looking to be able to help another family. Sometimes agents, it happened to me before. I stopped doing that a long time ago. It happened to me, and I know maybe a lot of agents. When you are making phone calls, I don't think, I was doing this since the beginning, but I was having no directions. Nobody was coaching me. Nobody was guiding me. I was in the phone, looking into the computer, going into the Facebook, texting, answering phone calls. My energy, it went to another direction. So when my coach started telling me, Marilu, you have to put your phone in another room. You have to have only your computer and your phone making phone calls. Okay, so when you stop doing other things, your intentions, your attraction, your energy is going directly to the person that you are calling. If you stop doing whatever you're doing right now, if you stop doing that today, you are going to see great results.
Exactly. And you know what, that leads me to one of my favorite quotes. I actually learned this from my last company, and it was, whatever you focus on expands. So if you focus on prospect, if you focus on taking listings, it's going to expand. Your business is going to expand because you're focusing on it. That's why I say focus on one thing at a time to grow it, right? If your energy is in 10 different places, it's really hard to grow, right? Yes, we can plant a lot of seeds. However, we need to be intentional and focus on one thing, not 10 different things, because it's really hard to be purposeful, right? It's kind of like for us who have kids and families, and it's 7 o'clock. It's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, why are you on the phone? Like, we're watching the TV, or we're doing whatever, right? And your focus and your attention is away from your family now, because you're not focused where you need to be focused. That's why during prospecting time, I have to be focused. So let's get back into it, right? So just a couple principles. I need to lead with questions, right? If I lead with questions, I can discover their motivation. Just think of this as a funnel, right? This is a funnel that I'm funneling them to an appointment, right? Everyone is in a big bucket over here, and I'm taking questions and I'm narrowing them all the way down into the bottom where I'm going to funnel them out and they're going to become an appointment because I'm pre-qualifying them each step of the way. So with that, we'll be able to discover their motivation. If you don't know how to listen to somebody and you don't know what true motivations are or objections are, you can't do this because you didn't study, right? But if you study and you know what their, if we're going back on the doctor thing, if we know what their symptoms are, we can diagnose it, right? Just keep thinking that, hey, I'm a doctor. I need to figure out, you know, what's going on with them so that I can help them become a seller. It's not so I can make $10,000. It's so I can help a family sell a home. I need to come from contribution. I need to come from a place of help and care and contribution. If you come from that place, your conversation becomes a lot easier. But when you're coming from a place of greed, it's really hard to sell the house, right? You can only pressure so many people, right? Which I know there's a lot of Mike Ferry people here, right? Those are high drivers. They're high drivers, right? Oh, just say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes. But are you truly trying to help somebody, or are you just trying to make a check? Because if you help somebody, that's going to turn into 10 more people. But if you're just trying to make a check, that's a one-time transaction. Are we being transactional or transformational? Right? Let's make sure we're going deeper with our relationships, because prospecting is fun, but we don't want to do it forever, right? So let's make sure we're developing relationships. So isolate that motivation, isolate that objection, and then handle it, right? So we're gonna get into it here, I believe, on the next slide. All right, so this is the actual process, right? We learned the sales process earlier, right? Ask a question, listen for the answer, repeat and approve, ask another question, right? So you're gonna do this through this entire process, right? So, oh wait, is somebody saying something? What was that? Somebody have a question? Or no?
Yeah. I don't usually, but my friend.
Okay, I don't know if that's a question. Or maybe it is. I'll let her chat it over. So repeat and approve, right? So let's say, hey, Mario Lou, so you're saying you only want to pay 4%, is that right? Great, okay. So you only want to pay 4%. I can appreciate that, right? So I repeated it. Oh, so you only want to pay 4%. And then I approved it. I can appreciate that. So you only pay 4%. So what I'm hearing you say is you just want to net the most amount of money possible, right? I'm clarifying that the objection is you want to net the most amount of money possible, right? I'm clarifying it. I repeated it. I repeated the 4%. I can appreciate that, right? I level shifted with them and I got on the same level, right? I gave them a compliment. I clarified. So you just want to net the most amount of money possible. Is that correct? And then I use, is that correct, as my tie down. Once they tell me, yes, that's correct, that's exactly what my issue is. Now I can handle it, right? But let's go one step deeper. Let me isolate it. Marilu, is this the only thing stopping you from signing the contract today? The 4%, right? So I'm isolating now. Is this the only thing? Yes. And then I'm going to clarify what I just isolated. So as long as we can get through this 4%, you're going to be ready to sign today. Is that correct?
Correct.
So now I just isolated, I clarified it, and I'm ready to handle it. I know this is a lot. If you haven't heard, a lot of you have heard this before, but some of you haven't. Is this making sense? Does anybody have any questions on this? Like, if we need to come back, we can come back. Because this is a big part of it. Understanding this process, because if you can take this and put whatever objection you have and throw it into here the same way, it's the same thing. All right, so I think we're good. Nobody said anything. Do you want to expand on this at all, Marilu?
I don't know if somebody has any questions. Maybe we can go back or just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can keep going because I don't see anybody saying
Okay.
anything, so. Okay, I don't know what the heck's going on. What the heck? Hold on. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, cool. Let me go back into it. There we go. All right, you could see it again? Okay, cool. All right, so for the commission objection, there's 3 ways to handle this that I found that are pretty effective. I'm sure that there's a million different other ways to handle it, but these are the 3 ways that I handle it personally. So I just want you to remember this. I want you to learn these 2, the let's pretend example, and I want you to learn the flat fee example. Because the commission package one, it's great, but it's only a tool. Like, I don't want you to think, yes, it does handle the objection automatically, but remember, let's know how to be tactful as well. So that way, just in case we need to have the conversation and bring them to earth, then we can. So this is the first one. This is the let's pretend. So I'm going to give you, this is number 1 of 3. Okay. So, Marilu, do you want to lead this one?
If you want.
Yeah.
I think it would
Or
be
I
a
can
great
lead it.
idea if we can replay this with somebody who wants to be a volunteer, maybe.
Oh, George is going to be a
I
great
can-
volunteer.
Yeah,
Okay, Mary and George. Okay, guys. Mary and
Oh,
George.
yeah, perfect.
okay.
Let's see.
Let me move the thingy, so I can see the whole thing. Okay, there it is.
All
So-
right.
Who's the agent?
George,
can
you
be
be
the
the
agent.
I'll be the agent. All right, cool.
Okay,
I
go
use
for it.
I use this often, so I know this one.
Yeah.
Thank you,
It's a great
Mary.
one.
Just
No
listen
worries.
to this. It's gonna be great.
Got a house
Okay.
buyer in the car, they are motivated, qualified, and ready to hand out the real estate. You have 3 homes to show this. Okay,
All right, go for it. Go for it, George.
All right. Okay, Mary. So you said that 4% commission is what's stopping you from signing the contract today, right?
yeah, I want to net the most money possible, so 4 will get me the amount of money I need to move on.
Okay, perfect. I can definitely appreciate that. So let me explain to you why going up at 4% might hurt your listing. Now, let's pretend for a second that you were a real estate agent like myself, and you have a hot buyer in the car. They are motivated, qualified, they have a check in hand, ready to go. They're already qualified and everything's good to go. And as a real estate agent, you have 3 homes to show this buyer. The first home is offering 3%. The second home is offering 3%. And the third home is only offering 2%. Now, let's be honest. Which one would you probably not want to show your buyer?
Well, I wouldn't show them the 2% because I'll make more on the other 2.
Exactly. Now, you're going to be working the same amount for with all these listings, but you're going to be getting paid less, correct?
Correct.
And you did say you wanted to net the most amount of money possible, right?
Right, that's why I want 4.
Exactly. So the question we must ask ourselves is, do we want all realtors feeling the way you're feeling right now about the 2%, or do we want them motivated to come and show your home?
Well, I want them showing my home.
Exactly. So if we have more motivated realtors showing your homes, will there be more or less showings on your home?
Well, there would be more showings.
Absolutely. And if we have more showings on your home, do you think we'll have more offers or we're going to get less offers?
Well, I'm hoping we'd have more offers.
Exactly. And if we have more offers, do you think we will be netting more money or will you be netting less money in your pocket?
Well, with more offers, I'm hoping to net what I want, what I need, yes.
Exactly. And you do want to net more money for sure. So
Yeah.
fantastic. So now you see how to net the most amount of money. All we need to do is sign the contract at this point and let me and my team get to work so we can get you the most of money for in your pocket. Does that work for you?
Well, are you saying that we'll offer the other agent 3% and you would be willing to settle for 1%?
No, at this point we're saying we're gonna list for 6%, and we're gonna make sure that we expose your home to everybody in the market and get all motivated agents to come in and show your home as well.
Well, let me think about it. I understand what you're saying, but I mean, I heard from another agent that right now the going rate is 2 to 2.5, not 3. So I'm going to go ahead and interview them tomorrow, and I'll let you know.
Well, let me explain to you exactly what is going on when they're telling you that we're only going to charge you for 2%. You wanna hear exactly what's going on with that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so what they're telling you that they're going to only charge you 2.5%. That's only one side, and then when they get there, they're going to tell you, okay, this is what we're going to pay the other agent, but our total commission is going to be 6%. Now, the thing that I'm doing here is telling you upfront what it is exactly that's going to happen. I'm giving you the percentage upfront. I'm letting you know exactly what it is that we're going to charge, and we're not going to be charging anything extra aside from that. So it's pretty much like agents are using that as a hook. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll
Okay.
write this down, and once I talk to them, I'll know this. And if that's what they're doing, I'll give you the call right back.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Should I have just say yes? Let's go for it. Let's write it up.
Honestly, at this point, like whenever I get agents or sellers that are giving me that much pushback,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'll try to go for the appointment, but if they give me like 3 or 4 pushbacks like that, I just move on to the next one because in my eyes, they're not motivated. They just want to
agree with you.
they just want to save a buck, and at that point, they're just wasting my time.
I agree with you 100%, George.
Mhm.
I do.
I was ready to just move on to something else, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with you also. Yes.
Nice. Thank you, George. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome. Thank you, George. Thank you, George. You were really good at it. Most people would have gave him with this script, actually.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's why it's important to really isolate the objection, right? And make sure that's the only thing stopping you, right? Because obviously Mary in this instance, she came up with another objection, which we're gonna have. However, that's why before we handle the objection, we clarify, okay, is this the only thing or is there anything else? Because maybe they're like, you know what, I'm also interviewing somebody else. Okay, so you're interviewing somebody else and the commission. Are these the only thing that's stopping you from signing the contract today? And then we're gonna go in and handle both of them at the same time. But first, we need to clarify and make sure that our seller is going to be honest with us and let us know exactly what they're thinking, right? Because a lot of times we're going to be back and forth. But no, that was good. So the next one
Well,
that
I actually brought up a realistic thing that I had. A client wanted me to take 1% and give the other side 2.5, and I walked it.
good.
Yeah, I walked
You
it.
should.
So Georgia, it was based on a realistic situation.
Yeah. It looks like Armando said he used the same objection handler he got from 4 to 6%. So most of the time we do get this bumped up to 6%.
I've had that objection before too, where the seller says, "Oh, well, you could just charge 3 and pay the other agent 2, and only pay yourself 1." And then I turn around and ask them, "Well, you know, and if you don't mind me asking you, what is it that you do for a living?" And if they say, "Oh, you know, I'm a mechanic or whatever," okay, well, let me ask you this, you know, if my car's engine goes out, are you gonna, and I come up to you to come and fix my car, and you tell me it's gonna cost, you know, $3,000 to get a new engine, and I tell you, hey, you know what, I'll only pay you $500. Are you gonna do it for $500? And 9 out of 10 times they say, well, no. I mean, okay, same thing. You know, I value my time, and I value what I do.
Yes, I agree. Good job.
So that's a great point, and we're gonna get into that right now. All right, so this is the flat fee objection handler. Let's see, let's pick who would like to be the seller and the listing agent. Let's pick 2 different ones. Let's see.
For 2 volunteers. This is a great class, and this is the best time for us to keep learning, guys.
Yes, so this one you want to use with anyone who's an entrepreneur, like a lawyer, maybe they're a mechanic, anything like that.
I want to be the seller.
Somebody said
Eva is
me.
the seller. We're looking for 1 agent. Armando, did you want to be the agent? That somebody else?
Oh, Armando would be a great agent.
Looking for 1, yes. Armando, are you there? Who wants to be a volunteer? Come on, guys. This is the only place that we can make mistakes, not with the sellers. Hello, nobody?
No, nobody? Dang.
I think Armando is there. Miriam, you
Yeah.
wanna be the, oh, who wants to be a volunteer, Miriam?
April or Abril.
Abril, she went to go take a nap. No, I'm just kidding. I think she stepped out real quick. Oh, there she came back. Okay.
Oh yeah, you could
Perfect.
be my agent.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, she'll be your agent.
Sorry, my dog was barking and I was trying to give him a treat so
okay.
he can stop barking, but I'm here.
Yeah. So this is when we have a flat fee and they want to charge you 1%. And this is how we show value through commission. So obviously April will be the listing agent, and then I don't know who the seller is. Who's the seller?
I am not ready to be the listing agent.
Me, I'm the seller.
Okay, I know for sure, Alex, do you wanna take this?
Oh,
Can
or I
you
don't
hear
know.
me okay? Because I think my mic is not
Yeah,
working so well. Can
we hear
can
you.
hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
sure.
Okay, Bella.
All right, go for
I'm
it, Alex.
confused. I'm sorry. I'm so confused, Mary Lou. Am I the seller or is Alex the seller?
You're the seller. Alex,
Oh,
give you
okay. Okay,
for
got it.
Okay.
So they just
Would
gave you the
this-
objection
would
that,
this one here on the screen, the flat fee one?
yeah, we're doing the flat fee objection.
Okay, good.
And this
one-
is the handling it.
this one I'm new to, so I've never seen this one, but I can read it if you like.
That I'm telling you, that's all you gotta do, man.
Okay, Mrs. Seller, hey, please share with me, what is it that you do for a living?
I am a surgeon.
Do I start there? I'm sorry, give me 1 second, because I'm a little bit confused. Am I supposed to start there as well?
Yeah, just start
Or
there.
is giving
All
the
right.
objection first?
Okay, yeah, give him the objection. There you go.
Hello, Mr. Agent. I am a surgeon.
Say what?
Oh, I say, oh, okay. Should I say lawyer? Okay, I'm a lawyer.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Okay. I apologize.
Here,
I'm
Alex,
kind of
I'll just be a listing agent. All right. Oh, awesome. So you said a surgeon, right? Perfect. So in your field of work, would you agree that there's 3 types of surgeons: the bad surgeons, the good surgeons, and the best surgeons?
Sure.
Yeah, perfect. So tell me, which one are you?
I'm the best surgeon.
You're the best. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So if I ever had an issue, I'd definitely come to you. So as the best, do you typically find yourself bringing more value or less value than the bad surgeons do to their clients?
Of course, they bring them more value to my.
You bring more value.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, you see, Ms. Seller, in my industry, we actually have 3 types of agents as well. We have the best agents, right? We have the mediocre, and then we have the bad ones. Out of curiosity, which of the 3 agents do you feel would most likely work for the cheapest rate available? The best, the mediocre, or the worst?
The worst.
Why do you think that?
Honestly, take that back. I don't know. I just think that they do not know their value, so they accept anything.
Okay. All right.
But I need to
So-
work with someone that knows their value so they could get me top dollar.
Exactly. So the only question we have to answer tonight is, with a home being one of your absolute most valuable assets in your portfolio, do you want to be represented by an agent, by the worst agents who don't know their value, work for the cheapest rates, providing the lowest value? Or do you want to work with the best agents, right? With the best track record, providing you the highest net imaginable? Which one's better for you?
The best agent with the best track record.
I can tell why you're a surgeon. You're smart. I can appreciate that. So let's do the right thing. Let's sign the contract and let's get your home market and sold for top dollar. So this is literally how I would handle it. This is for any entrepreneur type field, right? You want to make sure that you're exposing, why are they working for the cheapest rate? Like, are we working with McDonald's? Or are we going to Whole Foods, right? Where are we going to get our food? We want to make sure that we're showing our value and providing it. So there's a lot of flat fee brokerages, which, you know, I'm not hating, but some of them do it for like $500, right? You're messing up the industry. If you're taking listings at $500, like you're not showing value, like you're not caring for your family, because for that same listing, you could have charged 3% or 6% or whatever it is, and you could have gave your family a lot more. But you told the seller, you know what, I'm only worth $500. So my kids are going to eat McDonald's tonight because we can't afford Whole Foods, because I decided that my value isn't high enough. So we have to have real conversations of what our value is, right? Marilu, do you want to cut in?
No, I just have an example that I went to, I called last week an expired listing, right? And then I set up the appointment. I went to see my seller, and then she said, okay, what is the commission? And I said, my commission is 6%, Mrs. Seller. And I just quiet. And she said, why 6? The other agent, I do have a copy for the listing agreement, and she, I offer 4%. This is the problem, Mrs. Seller. That's why your property is still sitting on the market. Your property was on the market for 6 months, so now you're already losing some equity. Are you planning to stay sitting in the market for 6 more months, or are you planning to sell this property in the next 30 days? And I would love to get this property sold. You know, the tenants, they are not paying me, and she was starting blah, 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 and say, okay, let's do the right thing, Mrs. Seller, just sign the contract. My commission is 6%, and I'm going to offer 3% to the other side. And she said, okay, that's fine. And she paid me 6%. And I'm going to open the house today to an investors, because actually the property legally is showing on title 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and the house has only 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. So because the previous seller, he was doing some construction and he never finished the other 2 bedrooms. So I'm making 6%. An investor called me, I wrote an offer for 3, and then they are going to pay me 6%, and I'm ready to open escrow tomorrow. That's why we have to show up for the role play. We have to keep learning daily. This is the best market. This is the best time for us to make more money and work a little bit less. Not working less, but, you know, learning and working with the scripts, working as a group, and always, you know, bringing to value to the community.
If you don't mind me chiming in, Richard and Marilu, one of the things that Marilu said that is very, very important, that I think as agents, especially newer agents, don't do, that when the seller asks, what's Marilu, what is your commission? And she says 6% and just stood quiet. I think a lot of people get a little nervous and start talking and start over talking. It's like, just give them the 6% and just shut up. Let them respond. And then if they answer with an objection, then you know how to handle the objection because you know the words. But I think as agents, that's what a lot of us do, and it's a mistake. I mean, I've done it myself, where I get the percentage and then I start talking and I talk myself out of the listing. Instead, just give them the listing or give them the commission percentage and just be quiet.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's something that I learned when early on, it was like, stop talking. When you talk too much, right? You start to put objections out there that don't need to be there. Like, you start to give yourself objections to handle. We don't want to do that. That's why we lead with questions. The client talks 80%, we talk 20%.
Yes.
If the client is talking the whole time, we're winning, I promise, because they're selling themselves on you, right? Because the questions that you're asking, they're going to sell themselves, right? Even with this funnel of questions that we talked about in the flat fee, in the let's pretend example. If they weren't ready for the let's pretend example, then take them to the flat fee. Take them here, right? Because they just said, oh, you'll do it for 1%. Well, let me ask you, right? And then you'll bring them down. What do you do for a living? And then you'll bring them through this nice little funnel, or you can give them one straight answer. You know, that's my commission. That's what I charge. Here are my results, right? And then you're selling with stats. So the next example. So these next 2 examples, I want to preface this. I want you to learn this one and the one before it first, before you start using this. because this is gonna be cheating. I don't want to call it cheating, but so here's one, right? So this is gonna go against some of the rules, but you're gonna make more money. Hold on, what the heck? There we go. So this is 4, 5, and 6, right? It's a flexible commission plan. If I find the buyer, you pay 4%. Or sorry, if you find the buyer, you pay 4%. If I find the buyer, I pay 5%. Or you pay 5%. And if another agent brings it, then you pay 6%. This is an option. I'm not telling you you have to take 6% on every listing, but this is just a skill. This is a scalable option, right? Now we're not even talking about commission, right? This is one option, and here's another one. Right, this is something that I use, 6, 7, and 8. I just offer services. Neither one are wrong, but I want you to know how to handle the objection, because at the bare minimum, I want you to take 3%. That's the whole point of this. I want you as a listing agent to take 3%. I do care about the buy side, but I want you to control your own money. So these are two ways. I'm just giving you examples. You don't have to use them if you don't want to, but this makes the conversation easy. Hey, I use listing packages, or I use a flexible commission plan. Maybe you just do 6% and that's all you do. But this takes the whole objection out of the way. Mary, what's up?
I have a question. Is this depending on any sales price? Like if you're selling a $1.5 million home, are you still going to request 6%?
Right. I'll be honest with you. That's not our market here where I'm at.
Okay.
So maybe April or Mari Lou do that, or George, but for me, anywhere up to 800,000-900,000, it's not a problem.
Okay.
I do down here. So I'm
You
in
do
LA.
it down there?
In
Okay.
LA, yeah,
LA.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Good, thank you.
So just to recap, right? It's very important that the way that we get past objections is by leading with stats and figures. So I think next week we're going to actually do a listing presentation, and I'll show you guys. George has seen it because me and him practice every day. I literally have the stats there. I'll have 12-month stats. I'll show them the figures of where the market's going. I'll show them what I charge for commission, so that way they already know, hey, I'm charging this much for commission. It's not a secret. And I'll have it in the marketing package already, so that when I come over, like sometimes I'll send out listing paperwork, it's already signed by the time I get there, because they're like, oh, cool, the stats are here, commission looks good. All right, we're good to go. I want this package, we're good. And we're not even having a listing presentation anymore, because I've already I pre-called them, I seller pre-called them, right? That's the most important thing. When they're on the phone, hey, just so I'm completely prepared for our appointment tomorrow, I just have a few questions, and then boom, boom, boom. For the techie people, if you're super techie, then while you're prospecting on your bookmarks, you have a Google form where it already has all of the pre-qual questions on there. And as they're answering, you're telling them, okay, so what's your main motivation for moving? And then you're going to, okay, you want to go to San Diego. Great. What's your timeline? Would you have an issue if we move the next 60 days? And you have all of these questions on a form. And as soon as the call's over, you click submit on that form. And then it goes into a Google Sheet to where you already have all the answers for that seller. And now you can keep going, right? But you've already pre-qualified this seller super well. You already know what they're looking for. Let me see. Where did you get, I'll send it. We'll actually put it, are you part of the group Envision?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Oh, wait, no, sorry, Mary Robles.
That's a Mary Robles. Mary,
No, I'm sorry, no, I'm not.
Okay, let's add her, and then we're gonna share I'll share the script on there. Or actually, here, look, screenshot it, and then I'll actually share a document on the Facebook group we have.
Awesome, thank you.
Share a link, Google Form link. Okay.
I think Mary Lou has me on Facebook. However, I'm having issues with my Facebook, so I have to get a new one. All my
Okay.
back part of my Facebook is in a different language, Chinese, and I don't speak Chinese, so I have no idea
You
how
need
to
to find you
change the
somebody who
button.
speaks Mandarin.
Yeah, well, maybe I need to. I don't know how to
Cantonese.
change the button, so I have to get a new one.
You know what, Delia, I'm like back and forth with Slack, to be honest, Delia. So, but I will share, I'm going to share a copy to you, Delia. Text me your,
Thank you.
yeah, I
Thank you
got
so
you.
much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know I'm the worst. I'm the worst. So form, all right, so I'll put a link to a form on the group. I'll put the script, and then I'll also put the presentation. And then next week, we're going to physically do a listing presentation. I know the way that you guys usually practice on Fridays, you just do it straight off of the script, but I want you guys to get into the habit of presenting with a slideshow. Like George really helped me with this because he uses a slideshow. I was using a slideshow as well, but we kind of mastermind and put it all together. And now I think it's, what do you think, George? I think that we have an amazing listing presentation.
I personally love it because the entire listing script is on my presentation, so I don't have to
Yes.
remember the listing presentation.
100%.
I just go. I mean, the more you do it, and the more obviously the more appointments you go to, like you kind of just remember it at that point as the slides come up, and you really make it a conversation. But you have visuals to show because there's, I want to say like 90% of people are visual. And as long as, and since you have the visuals there, it makes the presentation a lot easier for yourself. And it's, I mean, since I started using the presentation in a slideshow, I think I've only lost one listing, and it was just because they decided not to sell.
Okay, George, nice. And then for next Wednesday, I would love to invite George to be the listing agent, and I'm going to be your seller, okay? Is that okay? Okay, and I'm moving to San Diego, okay?
Okay, I'll text you. I'll text you
Your prequel.
my prequel, so you can give me the answers, and I could put the presentation together.
Yeah.
Okay, get ready for next Wednesday. It's gonna be a great class. Remember, we have to show up for this class in order for us to make more money, be able to help more families. Thank you, George.
Exactly. So let's finish up here. I don't know where the time went. I remember last seeing it like 12:15. Now it's like 56. Went by like that.
57.
That's what happens when you're having fun, man. We're having fun over here. All right. So number one, right? Be a doctor, right? Be a doctor. Learn what the symptoms are. Figure out how to diagnose your clients, right? Doctors go to school for, I don't know, maybe it's like 8 or 10 or 12 years or some crazy amount of time. We go to school for 6 weeks and we get to make 6 figures, 7 figures, right? So at least pretend. Let's just pretend we're gonna go to school. Just imagine, just imagine if as realtors, we took 6 months and really learned our scripts, learned objections, and we learned how to listen. Because a lot of times we'll all have we'll have similar clients. However, I'll know how to diagnose them better and give them a roadmap of where they need to go versus you said they're not ready. So they came to me and I said, oh, wait, you're ready in like 3 months. So I gave them a plan versus you were trying to one night stand them, and that's not going to work. Because if you're always doing one night stands, you're always going to prospect. But if you build up a pipeline of clients, like we talked about like two classes ago, every month you're going to have a steady flow of deals. So we have to build up a solid pipeline, right? So become a doctor, learn the symptoms. So go to school, right? Role play, practice every single day, learn the sales process, which if you guys didn't take a screenshot of it, I'm going to post it. I'll post this a little bit later so you can go through it at your own time. Diagnose their problem or their question, right? Objections are just questions. It's just a question. What's your question? Oh, this is my question. All right. Is this your only question that you have right now? As long as we get past this question, are you going to be ready to go and move forward? Yes. As long as you make me feel comfortable, I'm going to be ready. Okay, great. You're going to isolate it and then you're going to close them out, right? And then we need to practice. It's better to look dumb or look silly in front of us. I can tell you this right now, Mary practices a lot. Just the way that I listen to her, I know that she's a serious agent. She is hardcore Mike Fair, I can tell. So she probably practices 5 times a week, different role play partners, 7:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, I already know. So be like Mary, be like Mary Lou, be like George, April, right? All these people, they practice a lot. What questions do we have? either text them over or sorry, chat them over, or you can unmute yourself so that we can handle them. I want to make sure that we're getting all the questions answered.
Thank you for your kind words, by the way.
Hey, you're welcome. You're the superstar.
Richard, I have a question.
Let's see. Yes, Monica.
So today I had a client in the phone. I'm sorry, he was an expire, but now he's a for sale by owner. So he told me that he was on the rush and blah, 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 but he's cooperating with buyer's agents. So what do you guys recommend me? Like, I was thinking to take a listing presentation and hand it over to him. So what are your thoughts?
So can I share like a concern that I have with the mindset for that listing agent, or sorry, for that seller? So the concern I have is you're trying to help them, right? You're trying to help them, and that's why you called them. And the one thing is that of all the homes that sold in the last 12 months, right, since rates have been going up, over 98% of them sold with an agent, right? This is a great stat that you can use. 98% of homes, probably 99% of homes now are selling with an agent, right? Whether that's two agents, with at least two agents, meaning that less than 2% of homes sell that don't have an agent or have only one agent at all, right? So, and usually those homes, they sell for anywhere from 9 to 17% less than what the normal sales go for. Mr. Seller, would you be okay, would you be okay taking a 9 to 7? Would you be okay risking that much money on the line? Would you okay losing 9 to 17% with not working at an agent when you could have just gotten a professional agent like myself, to handle all the marketing for you? Are you okay leaving that much money on the table? That's the question I would have asked him, right? Because now I'm leading with a stat that, hey, of all the homes that sold in your neighborhood, this many sold with an agent, and only this many sold without an agent. What's going to make you different, right? And I would ask him, what's going to make you different? And just show him, lead with numbers. Because when you lead with numbers, now it's like, oh shit, maybe they're right. Maybe I do need an agent. That's what I would have said. What would you say, Marilu?
And especially since this seller was on the market and was maybe in the market for a few months, now he's selling himself because I'm happy with the agents. I think my personal opinion is just go directly to the house, knock in the door, and offer my professional services. Just trying to get into the door.
Yes, so definitely offer. Huh?
No, I'm asking Monica to see what is the seller is in San Diego or it's in Riverside County.
No, it's in Oceanside. It's really close to me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we need to make another phone call and to see maybe we can get an appointment with the seller.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I think that like just really creating the doubt around him being on the market for a long time, I think that's one good angle. Hey, you were on the market for 6 months already and you had an agent, and how much did it sell? Did it not sell? What happened, right? And just start building up that doubt. You had an agent for 6 months. All the sales in this neighborhood actually sell with an agent. So, what's going to make you different? And that's where I would go. I would go with stats.
Yeah, and I think asking more open and ending questions, and especially at this moment, the sellers, every cancellation and every expired listing, they already lose some value, maybe something between 40 to 60,000, because previous agents that wasn't listing the home with a higher number. That's why everybody's like, I don't want to work with an agent, not anymore, because they have a bad experience with the previous agent.
Yep.
Yeah,
And when you market stats. Yep.
Definitely, when you come across a seller that way, you got to really come with a lot of value right up front. And like Marilu says, they overpriced the home from the beginning and it hurt his listings. So of course they're going to have that bad they had a bad result, they didn't have any results. That's the problem. So you just got to provide a lot of value up front.
Yeah, and just be honest, right? Figure out what their actual motivation, maybe the motivation isn't even there. And that's why they overpriced the home and they're okay sitting. So maybe it might not even be worth, meeting with them.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
got to
that-
find out, are they serious or not, right? So that's what I would do.
Okay. Alrighty.
Cool. What other questions we have? Let's see. Nothing else. You know what? I'll tell you what. You usually have one or no questions at the end of the class. So that makes me feel good or bad. I don't know. I'm not sure. They keep showing up, so that's good. So we appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for coming. I'll let you close this out, Marlo.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, friends. So get ready for next Wednesday. We are going to have a live listing presentation. I'm going to be the seller who is I'm moving to San Diego. George is going to be the listing agent, and we are going to record the call so that way we can go back and listen and be able to get more listings. Remember, we need to go back into the phone. We need to offer more value to the customers, to the families. A lot of families, they are looking to sell and looking to buy. This is a great market. It's a lot of agents, they already live in the industry, but especially at this moment, agents, they are looking for help. If you know somebody who is leaving the industry, I think I was listening, like 33%, they don't pay the associations. How can I say? We are willing to help everybody. I would love to work with these agents who is looking to be able to keep making or doing some business. Send them to us, okay? Anybody else wants to share something? How do you like? Hey, Mary, please. Oh, no. Okay, so that somebody else wants to share something? Nobody. Everybody's
Fine.
nervous. That's why everybody left like maybe 5 because we were start
I'll
asking
share
for
something.
volunteer.
Yeah.
Yes, Mary.
About a year and a half ago, I joined a script club, and in that script club, we're required to write our script and record it every single day, 7 days a week, non-fail. And if you don't do that, you're penalized. You don't have to have a penalty, but in our case, it goes to your favorite charity. And I think that's the way I learned my scripts. You just, have to do it. It's sometimes very painful, but now I think it's worth it.
Yes.
So if any of you want to start script clubs within the group that's here, go for it. It would be fascinating.
Yeah, practicing the scripts, it's good for everybody, especially for us.
Yes.
Thank you, Mary.
Let's see. Hold on. We had does practicing help you with confidence in front of sellers and buyers? I get nervous over the phone. Yes. Zamara. It does help you. So the reason why you're nervous is because you don't know okay. So there's two parts of it. So I think that you need to know your scripts. However, this is another factor to it. You need to know the process, right? You need to know the sales process, and you need to know how to guide it, right? That's why I tell you need to know how to ask a question, list for the answer, repeat and approve, and ask another question. Because during your scripts, what happens when at line 7, they throw you a curveball and line 8 doesn't match up with that. So I need you to know the process of asking questions. So it's important to know both things. You need to know what your scripts and your answers are, but you also need to know the process, because the process is going to take you farther, because you'll know how to take anything, because not all the questions are going to look the same. Not all the answers are going to be the same. So we have to know how to work with the process. So both are important. When I was, getting better, I was doing 4 role plays a day. I did one with Mari Lou. I did one with Danny. I did one with my friend from New York, and I had another one. I was doing 4 role plays a day, like minimum, like before 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I was doing the role play with Richard at 6 a.m. for 2 months. 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because why? Because we're doctors, right? We get paid more than doctors, so why don't we have if we had the mindset, work ethic of doctors and athletes, we'd be killers. There seems to be some bad pain from, okay, that's fine. All right, so any other questions or anything? I think that we're pretty much good. So I'll go ahead and call it a hard stop here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for a role play. Take care.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
You're welcome.
for
Thanks, guys.
showing
Bye.
up. See you tomorrow at 7:30.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank
see.
you.
Stop this.
Stop the record.